Good day, YouTube. Today's topic is: did you know that most people who get engaged do not discuss their finances? I don't know the percentage, but when I've talked to a few individuals, to include myself, I asked them, hey, when you were engaged or prior to getting married, did you discuss your finances with your fiance? And the answer was no. Same with me. I never once discussed finances with my fiance. We were engaged maybe a month or two, let's just say 2 months. I was leaving for the Air Force, and I said, hey, do we want to get married? The answer was yes. We did it quick, within a month. 2 months later, I was gone. We never once discussed finances. That's the norm, and that's not a good thing. Did you know that finances is one of the most stressors between couples? If you didn't, now you do. So remember that. So what about if you're going to be engaged soon? If you're engaged right now, or if you're married right now, it doesn't matter technically, because it's never too late to begin discussing your finances with your future spouse or your fiance. You have to do that. When I say you have to, nobody's going to keep track with you. No one's going to keep track of whether you're doing that or not, but it's to your benefit. You have to do that. It's going to benefit you in many ways. That way, if it's going to paint your financial picture, your side and his or her side. If it's ugly, it's ugly, but there's room for improvement where you can make it better. If it's not ugly and it's a good situation, even better, you're already advanced. When I got engaged, and let's just say married, we got to our first tech school, and we struggled financially, but we were still what they call in love, and we're blind to financial stress until we got to our first base. Then we started to realize, okay, all the challenges that we were having. We had an apartment because we were active duty and people rent to military, which is good. I applied for a car loan. No, they said come back in a year. So I didn't have a car. And that was not a good way to begin a marriage. That's how we began. We had no furniture. We had 6 pieces of luggage. My son, my wife, myself. That's it. We started from the bottom. Literally, we started from the bottom. But the good thing is, once we found out where we were, my wife and I discussed finances as needed, and we started with small goals to get to where we wanted to get to. So we started off slow, and over time, things got better and better and better. 20 years later, I'm going to say that for the most part, we don't have disagreements with finances. We have had that in the past, and it wasn't at the beginning, because at the beginning, like I said, we were in love, and hey, you're blind to that. But once you're not blind anymore to financial challenges, that's when reality hits. And we weren't in a good situation overall. Like I said, we discussed it, but you want to do that. I'm sharing with you what I do with my children, with my son and with my daughter. My son's grown, so I don't have the freedom to say, and he lives on his own, to say, hey, you know what, let me butt in and give you some input here. I don't, because I have to respect him. He pays his own bills. My daughter just graduated high school a few weeks ago. So I'm still planting a lot of these seeds in her mind. And the good thing is that she's going to take this with her in her future relationships. That's something that I would highly recommend, to discuss your finances. And the good thing is you don't have to be the expert. It's nice if you become an expert or very solid with finances, but there are a lot of resources out there, especially as military families. There are resources that you can use, that you can reach out, and a lot of them are free. I would caution you when you reach out to a company who's going to charge you for a service that they provide to you, because their interest is getting that business from you. So I would definitely say begin with your military installation first. See what they offer you. If they refer you to an off military installation agency, great. But definitely read the fine print of whatever you're getting into. Most family support centers, Airmen and Family Readiness Centers, Army Community Services, Navy and Fleet Family Services have financial counselors that can help you for free. They don't work on commission. They're not selling you anything, so take advantage of those services. Maybe even Military One Source. All of the agencies are out there that can help you, just like they helped me. And it's something that I used to do for a while. I was a financial counselor for 6 years, and I loved it. I'm not accredited anymore. It expired since I'm on active duty again. But I still love to talk finances with people. All it takes is somebody contact me and say, hey, let's say at where I work right now, they know my history. They say, what would you do about this or that? And I just give them options. I give them all the options. They have the power. They don't even have to tell me what they choose or what they like, what they don't like. So definitely communicate about finances. Doesn't matter if you're young, old, if you're in the military, or if you're a veteran, or if you're a civilian. Finances goes across the board, where it's important that you discuss it with your loved one, your spouse, your fiance. That way, when you have a disagreement, hopefully it's not about finances. Just because you take care of your finances doesn't mean that you're never going to have a disagreement about finances, because that's part of life. But you can actually decrease the stress in your personal life, in your personal lives as a couple, where you can actually grow. And that's one thing that my wife and I have definitely done. When it comes to finances, we're not perfect, but I can tell you this, been there, done that on a lot of the negative things as an individual, as a young couple when we were first married, and now we're seeing the complete opposite of that, where we can actually do a lot of things. We're debt free. We don't. We can give money to our church. We can give money on a mission. My wife wants to do a mission. I want to either go with her or I want to send her to a mission, and that's things. Those are benefits right there, that because you're prepared financially, that you can do so many things. And what is on the horizon for us is our daughter's going to school. It's only going to be my wife and I at home. It's time for her to start another chapter in our lives, since we've raised 2 children, and start doing things that we want to do, whether it's as a couple. Sometimes it's going to be her, where she goes to visit her family in either North Carolina or California, or myself. Next month, we're taking a vacation, the last one for this year with our daughter before she goes off to school, North Carolina. I'm going to go hang out with her family for a week and check out South Carolina as well. Finances as a couple is at the top of the stressors. You can take control of where you are right now, and if you're already in a great situation, great. If not, you can get there by communicating and doing what you have to. Make it happen. You take care.